Hello viewers, let's go through all these folders as a beginner so that you know what is being found in these folders. When you go to the app folder, you see console, exception, HTTP, and then providers. Now the main focus is HTTP. In the HTTP folder, we have the controllers, we have the middleware, we have the requests, and then we have the kernel. We'll look at all these one by one. Then when you go to bootstraps, it's also there. Then we have config is there. Then we have public for your CSS and JSS files. Then we have the resources, which is the views. We have views over there, which we will come to that. Then we have routes, and normally this is where your routes will be registered. Okay, your controller will be registered in the route. Okay, and then we have storage. We'll come to all that. Then vendor will come to all that. Now our main focus for this lesson is to look at what controller and then route is. So what controller does is that it has functions inside. It's a class that is having functions in it, which helps the view, which passes to view. So controller, whatever that function that you've written or you've put in the controller, it is being passed to the view. But without you registering it in the route, it means that you cannot use it. So let's look at what route is and then controller. For you to create a controller, you say php artisan make, then you say controller, then let's say student, you are my student, so let's say student controller. Okay, and then you hit enter and you see that controller created successfully. Don't forget that I said controller is being located in the app folder. So when you go to the HTTP folder, you see controllers and you should be able to see all that. You see? So right now we have student controller over there, and then it has been registered. So this is where the request, so it's also passed a request to us, but we are not going to use request. So even if it is there, it doesn't make use of us for now. Then we have this, the namespace of it, that it is telling you that it is located in the app folder, and then in the HTTP folder, and then you see controllers folder, and that is where you are going to see a student controller over there. Now let's move on to the route folder. Pick the route and let's register our controller. So it said route. So I know as a student, as a beginner, these things you will not understand it much, but just follow whatever that I'm doing, and by the end of this lesson you should be able to understand what controller and route is. So get, why did I use get? You understand that. Then our controller is here. So over here, whatever that you see, whatever that you'll be seeing over here as, let's say, student. Okay, student, you see it's giving me an error. It said what? Invalid route. It at where? At this controller. So over here at our route, we have not given any name, so let's give it as students. Okay, student. And now that it has been able to locate this route, it's having the URL, the name of that route is now students. And let's see whether I'm having exactly students over there. So students. Okay, Now let's move on, and still it will give us an error because now it is not having any action in the controller class. So let's move on to the controller class, and you see we are not having any action, and that is why it's giving up. So let's create a function. So let's say public function, and let's give it the name. So a name of that function is index, okay, and let's return it to view as a string of, let's say, it works for my students. Okay, now when you pass it, it will still give us error. Okay, the reason is that the route is not able to locate. So this route over here is not able to locate this function. Okay, it's not able to locate this function with the name as what? Index. It is not able to locate that. So what you do is to add at, then you add the index to it, and now it will work. It will work because you have passed it over there. You see, it works for my students. Okay, so whenever you create a function, and that is why we say, because we are getting, okay, we are getting, there's not posting, we just want to get, so we use get over here. Okay, so this is how, so the route will register the controller and also pass the URL to it. So don't forget, the route register the controller, and it also passes the URL to it. Let's create another route, and then let's say it is get again, and this time we are going to pass not only students, like then another parameter. So let's say an ID to it. Okay, and let's say it is still student at, so let's say at show. Okay, so it means that we have this student controller should be able to locate this function at a function which is show. Let's see whether we have that. We don't have it here, you see. So let's create one over there and say public function show. Okay, then say let's return something. Returned, let's say it works again, and this will give us an error. I'll tell you the reason why to give us an error. So let's pass the second parameter. Let's say it is 2. It works again, but why is it that, okay, it works, but this is not passed over here? So let's add ID, and you see when we bring, let's concatenate it over here, ID, and you should be able to see it over here, you see. So it works again, 12. So you see this parameter is being passed over here because the route name, so you see the route URL, and then it registers the controller, and it says pick it from where the show function in the controller class is. So you see, this is the show function, you see, with the name, the function with the name show this is the function. So whatever that you bring over here will be passed here. Whatever that is passed over here will pass through this, and then it will come to the view. So over here, when you even say this, okay, and hit refresh, you should be able to see the same thing over there. You see, still it should give you everything of that. Let's pass two arguments over here and let's see what will happen. So let's see, we are passing another one as name. Okay, so over here we'll pass another second argument called name and say another parameter is, then let's concatenate it and pass the name. Okay, and let's see what will happen over there. So this is the first one, and then the second one, let's pass my name, hit enter, and you see another parameter is what? Laravel. So you see it works, and it's so simple. You see, so this is how it is being passed to view. I know as a beginner this will not be easy for you, but as you keep on trying for even 3 or 4 days, you should be able to master all this. So let's pass this to view and see what view is all about. So let's say, let me create a folder in the view and say students. Okay, so in the student folder, let me create called index. Okay, index. So make sure that when you are creating your file over here, it should be index.blade.php. I have configured mine in such a way that the moment yours should be something like create, let's say create.blade.php. okay, and that will give you that. But I have configured it in such a way that the moment I type show, it will add the rest to it for me, so it is not different at all. So over here, instead of it works, let's move all this and return to view, and then let's pass the name, which is the students. You see, students. Okay, so students dot, then let's pick index because we are in the index. So index, and that's all. Cool. So when you come here, you see that this is the view stage of index. So don't forget that we are in the index, so in the route it is going to pick this student and not this, not students /id/name. okay, it will use this alone. So go to your folder and then let's remove all that and use that, and you see this is the view stage of index. Okay, so whatever that you pass over there, you should know that it is going to be passed in the view. And so in the view folder, let's add something to it and let's see what will happen. Let's pick this. Let me pick this from there. Pass it here, and let me also pick the ending over here, and let me also place it over there, and let's see H1. This is the view page of index. Okay, and let's see what will happen. And you see it works. Okay, it works. So this is how we pass. Let's pass another let's pass an argument, let's pass something to the view, pass something to view. So let's see, A is equals to 12, and then B is equal to, let's say, 2, which will give us 14. So the C will be equals to the E plus the B. Okay, so to pass it there, we'll say compact, then we'll add that C to it. So this C over here is referring to this C over here, okay, without adding this sign to it. So when it comes to the view stage, we say, let's assume that, let's give it another. So we bring that and we say this is what, at what, C, and that's all. You should be able to see it on the screen. You see it's 14, it's 14. So this is how we pass it over here. Let's pick the second argument and let's pass it to view, and let's also see what is going to happen. So return to view, and that view name will be still students, so it's still in the students. So we are still in the students folder, and let's use show. Okay, so student folder dot what, show. Okay, and we're passing it there, we'll say compact. Okay, compact, and let's say it is the name and then the ID. Okay, so we have passed the ID and then the name to the show. Let's pick all that is here, let's bring it to the show over there, and let's say the first one will be the ID, and then the next one will also be the name. Okay, so the name, now let's pass those arguments over here and let's see. So that is, the ID is 12, and then the name is, let's say, Raphael Lamti, and you see it works. You see it works. So this is the name, my name, and this is the that. So because I've added this to that, so this is show stage, and you see it's in the show stage and it works, and it's so cool, so cool, so cool, so cool. So let's say class with a background as, let's say, danger, because we are not using bootstrap, so it works. You see, and it's so simple, easy for you to use that. So let me also copy something over here and paste it there. Also paste this one here, and here should be primary. Let me say primary, and let's use this one as danger, and you see it works. Thank you very much, and we'll continue for our next tutorial. Kindly subscribe to the lesson. Thank you very much.